Hey everybody, we are going live. I am doing a lip blush here with Alyssa. She is going to be holding the camera for me as we get going. Hey everyone. It's awkward.
I'm going to be trying really hard to not be awkward. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to
Let us know.
let us know what questions you guys have. So we're doing a touch-up on my lips. And the colors we are using for the touch-up are French Fancy and Deep Sakura.
And we're going to use a 15 flat mag to do this, which is going to take me about 30 minutes.
Nice.
And I teach this. You can even like move this up here while I'm talking, just so you don't have to. So I teach this. The first time I did Alyssa's lips, it took me about 60 minutes, and then the touch-up takes me about 30. So the color retention is awesome. You guys can watch me work, because people seem to like to do that. And we'll get cracking. Alyssa's had some numbing on her lips for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. And now I'm gonna work in quarters, so let's do this, people. All right. Opening my glasses. Glasses and coffee are important. So again, I like to work in quarter sections. I'll leave the numbing on until I get to that section. So first, just a quick pass on Alyssa, and then I'm going to top her up with some secondary numbing so that she stays comfortable. So here we go, just a quick little zhuzh. So you can just see how nice her retention is from the last time, so we don't have a lot to do. How was that first pass, Alyssa?
Not bad.
All right, so this is Stronger Freezing. I'll do it on the bottom side too, just so that has a few minutes to marinate. One of the things that I think people are surprised about, or that I get comments on, is that I almost like squeeze the lips instead of getting a different stretch. But in my mind, it's working a little bit smarter, not harder, because I'm getting more coverage and I'm kind of able to manipulate the skin a bit differently. So again, if you guys have taken my course, you know that I always start with a primer color, which is what I'm doing. This is a diluted color just to kind of get me set up. Just to get me set up so that I can not do as many passes. So, Alyssa, how are you? Good, okay. So with this, I usually do like, I don't know, about 20 back and forth. And then that gives me enough coverage to keep going. So I just count in my head just to kind of keep track, so I'm not doing more on one side than I am on the other. And last little section over here. Awesome. So I always press my color down just because we still have some openings in the skin that we want to take advantage of, and just a little bit of...
Someone is asking, what speed are you on?
7.8. So guys, just fire questions away as we're working. I'll probably do, I'm thinking 2 passes of this primer color. And you guys, this isn't the color that the lip is going to be. It's going to be taking on the secondary color that I'm using, which is French Fancy, which is a lighter pink. But this is giving me the ability to just get a nice base. I always compare it to like if you were gonna prime a wall, or if you're gonna paint a wall red and it's white, professional painters will use a primer first so that they don't have to do a whole bunch of coats of red to get the desired result. So even though this color looks a smidge corally, it won't heal that way because I am putting the French Fancy over top of it. And with doing this, you guys can see there's no trauma to the lips.
So someone asked, what percentage is that primer diluted?
I probably did about 30% dilution. Now you guys can see my needles are getting a bit big for in this section. So what I'm gonna do is just what we call side magging, just to get in there really softly. And then I'm not overshooting where I need to go. And then this is, just so you guys can see, this is so good for the border of the lip too.
What is your needle configuration?
15 Magnum flat. So you can see color from the comparison there from side to side that we're getting a nice base there. And I'm gonna probably do one more coat because it allows me to do less of the French Fancy once I get going. So you can imagine, and I mean for those of you guys that do lips, like how long this takes with the one. Like I have never even done that because it just sounds like crazy to do a lip like this with the one. It's just like, how long does that even take?
Do you use the 15 flat for the top color too?
Sure do.
Yeah.
Yep. The whole idea, you guys, is smarter, not harder. If Alyssa's lips were super thin, I also use a 5 round shader. Like you can pick your needle configurations. Alyssa has full, beautiful lips, so I can go in there with this 15 and just like get this color in, easy breezy. But if she had really super thin lips, this would just be too much. Like it's just too much needle for her lips. So if, you know, if I'm working on even sometimes older lips too, I'll just scale it back. And I do like the effect of a round shader as well. And you'll notice, you guys, with this method, I just don't get a whole bunch of swelling either, which is pretty great.
So someone says no outline?
For Alyssa, we already had her outline done. I wouldn't outline if we were starting this procedure. I'd probably use like a 5 to outline, but check this out. I can crisp up her border just like this. So this is a way to do it, you guys. It's like there's more than one way to skin a cat. This might totally be something that speaks to you, or it might not be. It might just, you know, you like how you do it, that's fine. This is just a nice way to maybe mix it up, maybe speed things up for you.
So someone said, are you just lip shading very lightly?
You got it.
Yeah. And someone asked about the pain level. I would say it's about a 3 out of 10.
Have you had your lips done like the traditional way, Alyssa?
No.
Okay.
The first time was just with you.
It was good. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you know, like lips can be pretty sensitive for people, and so for her to report like a a 3 out of 10 is pretty nice. Like you shouldn't be getting a bunch of bleeding on the lip. It's just, it would be too aggressive. Just like with any type of lip shading, it's just doing too much damage to the skin. And sometimes I do get like a tiny bit, so sometimes that might be just that they're a bit of a bleeder, but it's usually an indication that you're just being a bit too aggressive. And getting a lip border in, like the lip line, you guys, this pinch, like kind of roll that lip out tissue, like how I'm doing, is so good. It just like gets color in so fast.
What numbing do you use on the lips?
We start with the Nestin, and then I get a compounded secondary numbing with lidocaine and epinephrine. Okay guys, we are on to French Fancy right now. And this is our lighter color. This will be more of our final result, which is what Alyssa's after. So with this style, I mean, you want a decent pull on the lip, but you don't need it to be like so crazy tight like I see sometimes in some videos of people doing lip shading.
How does the stretch differ from using 1 RL or 3 RL?
Well, to be honest, you guys, I never use those, but I feel like your stretch with those is probably more like this, which again, you can do with these bigger configurations. If I'm using a 5 shader, I mean, I kind of mix it up just to see how my color is going in, and if it's not doing what I want, I might need to just mix it up a little bit so I'm getting the result that I need, and you'll be able to see that right away. And you can also move around just from going straight to back and forth as well. So you're kind of getting a nice little blend all over. Just like if you think of if you were, you know, using like pencil crayon, going back and forth in different directions gives you a really nice result.
So we are using Deep Sakura primer and French Fancy on top.
We're trying to keep you clean, Alyssa, so we don't look like we're...
Do you use mouth guards?
No.
We don't, but I am wearing Invisaligns right now. Those are, for those wondering.
So these colors are diluted because Alyssa wants just a really soft finish with this. So that's what we're going for. If you want more color opacity, then you can definitely not dilute. Even with this color too, because it's lighter, sometimes you don't want to dilute it or else you'll be going over it forever.
Will you save this live?
Absolutely. This usually, like, I get so many messages in the DMs, you guys, that say, they started doing this, and then this changed everything for them. And I'll show you, I'll drop a before and after photo from our first time that Alyssa and I did our lips, which was what, like a month and a half ago?
Hi, Kevin. Do you dilute with witch hazel or distilled water?
Today I'm using, what am I using? A Viper dilution. You guys, honestly, you can use anything. You can use witch hazel. Just turn a smidge there. Good. So you can see how pretty that is. I see a couple little spots that I'm going to go over. Other than that, I'll be done. And again, just doing a bit of side magging, because then you have all of those needles concentrated in one line. And that's really good for implanting pigment quickly. But again, just be careful that you're not going too aggressively, because you can cut the skin like that. It can be like a little knife if you're not being careful. So there's a couple courses if you're unsure how to use these mags. I did a collaboration with Shay Danielle to show you. But then we also have our Secrets of 60-minute lip blush. So then you can see that as well. Awesome. Okay guys, so we're finished on this side. We're gonna complete the other. Okay, so let's go back to our primer color. This numbing sat on here a little bit longer, so I'm just gonna go straight in with color right now. And you wanna kind of be working in a puddle of ink. So like I can sort of pick up and keep going, because the whole idea with these little pixels is to just get as much of those little droplets of color into the lip tissue. And I'm not even cleaning like in between passes as far as like changing my ink color. I just dip and go. Like it's not very fancy. It's like, if you think of how body tattooers work, it becomes art, you know. You're like just picking up colors from your palette. You can just see how I manipulate her lip skin to kind of do what I need it to do. So again, you can be going back and forth like this. You can be going up and down, which honestly, I think the best results are from kind of like cross-hatching like this.
Is a curved mag okay for this too? It
is, but you won't, I mean, it's what you like. I found I use curved mags all the time, and then I switched to this, and it just seemed like I got more retention with the flat. But obviously flat, you know, it can come with its own sort of challenges, because your needles are all across, where your curve, you know, has those softer edges. But I don't know, lately I've been digging these. But honestly, you guys, I kind of go back and forth. It's not like it's the needle of the month, but I don't know, I just like mixing it up. It'd be like mixing up brushes. And that's really how I see this, is like painting, and these are your brushes. Just turn this. Is your arm getting sore, Alyssa?
It's fine.
Okay. I told Alyssa this morning, I'm like, oh, by the way, we're gonna go do your lip blush live. She's like, oh, okay. Alyssa's one of our artists, so that's why I can boss her around and tell her that we're doing these things. I don't know that I necessarily do this with a client, but. All right, secondary numbing. How's your sensitivity on this side, Alyssa?
It's like a 3.
3? Still perfect.
So for the base color, we use Deep Sakura
Yep.
for primer, and then we're using French Fancy on top.
Yeah. So the deep, I don't know if you want to just like kind of do a little color. So that's the Deep Sakura, and then that's the French Fancy. That's my numbing over there. But you can see like how different they are. Yes. This makes a huge difference. This needs to be significantly darker in order to prime. And then whatever color they want to finish, that will be my end result, believe it or not.
Okay. How do you pick your primer color?
Well, that is a good question. So with Alyssa's lips, because they're a little bit darker, I wanted something a bit warmer, like the Deep Sakura. So it's almost like got that little bit of I don't want to say orangey base because that's kind of exaggerating, like a little bit of that coral. So that in order for me, it's like if you think of neutralizing lips, I'm kind of cutting out the color so my actual lip is more just primed and neutral, right? So this color could be, honestly, it could be plum, it could be whatever. Think of the final result that you want and then kind of go back over to that. So a lot of times I'll kind of do, if she wants something corally, I would stick with this and then do my finishing color. Maybe it was like called Bear or whatever. But the reason I'm changing it for Alyssa, because this is almost warm and then this is a cooler tone, is because she has a lot of dark in her lips. So I'm almost doing like a little bit of that neutralizing concept and then going to finish with this. If she had just like light Caucasian lips, I wouldn't use that because that would really like mess things up. I'd probably honestly do like a plummy pink and then go to that. I feel like it kind of sounds, I don't know if it feels to you guys like it sounds confusing, but honestly, once you get going with this, you get the hang of it, it's just a no-brainer. You'll pick your colors in 2 seconds. So you can see I'm not like stretching her lips like this, right? Which I see a lot of. I can get away with something a little softer. And when I use a smaller needle configuration, like a 5, that doesn't work to do that. That kind of stretch and grip only works with bigger needles. I still do that like kind of pinching to get the effect I want, but I do feel like you have to do a little bit more stretching, just the way those needle configurations are. So again, kind of gonna get that base in. And then once you're done and you kind of do your stretch, and if you see there's any gaps or whatever, honestly, it just takes 2 seconds, you guys, to fill them in. And this back and forth with side magging, it packs so much color in, which is why I'm not sitting here doing this for 3 hours, which is also part of like not only the damage, but the swelling that you're causing on the lip.
We've been using the 15 meg needle.
Sorry, say that again?
We've been using the 15 meg needle.
Oh, you're saying that, okay.
This entire time.
Yeah. So just to sort of catch people up if you're new here, this is just our touch up on her lip, and will be time frame. Usually my first procedure is 60 minutes and then my second is 30. Now, I'm not saying it's a race, but just to kind of give you an idea of like, you know, once you're competent with larger needle configurations, it's just faster. So it's like if it took you 2 hours, cool, like that's no problem. But if it's taking you 3.5 before, it's like, wouldn't you want to be able to do that?
Will I need a third session due to my lips being darker?
No.
No.
I asked Alyssa, like, we're talking about like the end result of what she wants, and she's super happy with where we're at. If you were like, hey, I want your whole lip to be, I don't know, like lighter or even more kind of like a color like French Fancy, I would have just approached the primer differently to start, but I never do more than 2 sessions on lips. It's like maybe once in a blue moon, if someone didn't feel good, then yes, absolutely, because I want them to love their result. But typically I don't see people 3 times.
For the first session, did you line the lips with the 1RL or the MAG?
Actually, yes, I did line the lips, but I used a 5 round shader, which I'm sure is just making you guys like the hair on your neck stand on end. But you can use a 1, you guys. You can use a 1, you can use a 3. Do whatever you're comfortable with. Like, I've been doing this since 2008, so I did not learn to do lips the way I see lips being done today with like concealer and these little baby needles. It was just not how we did it. But that's really common, and there's nothing wrong with that. You do you in order to get a good lip result for your clients, and that's it. Like, you don't feel like you have to do it a certain way. I think it's so important just to play around and figure out, you know, what you like and what works for you, what's efficient, what's easy for your client, how's their heel up. Like, all of those things matter, and I think that's how you evolve as an artist, is by trying new things, right? And coming across like, oh my God, that was a game changer. Like, all the time, I had mentioned earlier, when students message me and they're like, are you even kidding? How did I not know about this before? And it's just like, because it's not taught, you know, people don't, in the PMU world, just don't work like that. And if you learn from a body tattooer, they don't even know that 1 round liners exist. It's just like, what?
And you guys, you can learn all of this in more detail. The course is only $99, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So literally in 1 lip blush, obviously it's paid for, you know, no matter what you charge for lips. It's a pretty big money and time saver for you and your business. Okay, guys, French Fancy, this is our last color. And you can see that little puddle of color I have, so I can sort of whip through and not be dipping constantly. And you'll see, you guys, like how little swelling Alyssa has with this. You know, when I see photos of the people doing like a 1RL lips and their lips are just like practically touching their nose, the upper lip is so swollen. I mean, some people are just gonna swell like that no matter what you do, but like, I never see that's not the case with these lips. They're huge. And I mean, the results can be super beautiful, so I'm not saying that's wrong. Like, you just have to do what works for you. And I just encourage people to try new stuff, right? Like, don't just get stuck in this 1RL life, you know? When someone could like totally change the game for you. I use these big needles for everything. Alyssa has her lash line done too, which is so pretty, as well as eyebrows. Because, you know, you can't work here and not have everything done, right?
Yeah.
Can't talk the talk and not walk the walk.
Exactly.
Okay, you can see how pretty that is. We're just about done. And then I'll drop a little before and after photo of this and then her healed after one session, because of course, like, as you know, it's all about the healed result. Like, who cares how pretty your photos are immediately after? It's about what she's wearing and what she's finishing up with. But truly, like, if you guys saw Alyssa's lips to start, like, do you think you have tolling, Alyssa? Like a little bit, right?
Yeah. But
not crazy.
Not touching my nose.
Yeah, exactly. We're not on the touching the nose program. So in my course, I talk about how you pick primer colors, because that, I feel like that does come up when you're just like, oh my God, this concept is so new to me. I do go over that and I give you a little bit of a cheat sheet of how to pick. But like I said, honestly, once you get the concept, it's just a no-brainer. But again, just side magging here so I can keep that border nice and full. I like to ombre this color in. So what that means is I don't like to do the whole lip like all the way saturated unless they request that. I think when you kind of flow the lip color in, it's really flattering. Like, it just gives that pout that people make with using a darker lip line. How are you liking that, Alyssa?
Very nice. Yeah.
And so I just kind of top up numbing as I go, just in case I have to go back. All right, so I'm just gonna turn my machine off for a minute, and I like to come around and just give this a really good clean, and then see where I need more color. I can see I need a little bit in there and a little bit in there. The rest of it looks really great.
Kevin says, looks great.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, so I can see there that this is in need of a little more color. So I'm gonna side mag that because I know I can pack a lot of color. It's like packs a lot of punch, girls and guys. And again, there's no bleeding here, especially with these bigger needles. If you're getting bleeding, you guys, that's just too aggressive. Now, from our primer color, the Deep Sakura, which is like, you know, if my client saw me using that, she'd be terrified. She'd be like, oh my God, what are you even doing? I don't show that to them because it's like explaining that concept is irrelevant. Just get them the look that they want and they'll be happy. It's like if your dentist, you know, was gonna fix your teeth, you wouldn't be asking him what instruments he uses and how he's gonna get that result. You just trust that he knows what he's doing to get your, you know, your teeth fixed or cleaned or whatever it is you're having done. The one thing is with this type of technique, you want to really make sure you've got a lot of color sitting on the lips. I talked about calling it like having a puddle of ink. And as you know, with working with a puddle of ink, you still, you know, need to clean and see where you're going. So you're not just like you're not working blindly. I think we are done.
Okay.
So that was 30 minutes, y'all.
30 minutes, touch up.
Yeah, baby. Okay, let me just get her completely cleaned up here.
deep, please? Can you elaborate on that question? I'm not sure what you're meaning by that. What do you think she meant by what is the deep?
The deep what?
The deep, please.
The depth. Oh yeah.
The depth.
I probably had my needles out about 1 millimeter, 1.5, but I just work on the tips because it depends how you like working. Like you're not going to be having those needles in like right to like the very edge of the needle chamber. It's like just like how you do pointillism, you guys. All right. You're done. That's it.
So this is the final result, you guys. It's a nice soft pink color, and yeah.
We'll show you healed, and then we'll also show you just the progress as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty, that's it.
Thanks
Buy the course.
Buy the course. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Bye.